different. I am gonna be making my waist beads, but not really my waist beads this time. I usually do my waist beads and I play music in the background, and it's kind of meditational, and these thoughts kind of go on in my head, but I don't really say them out loud. I think I will start off with my testimony first, and then I'll just say a prayer while I'm doing the beads. So I already put my string together here, and I double do it. So these are actually, this is going to be permanent, and I'm making an anklet for myself and my best friend Femi. Um, and we kind of wanted the same thing on there, so it's kind of like friendship anklets, I guess. She already got her waist beads from me. I do waist bead ceremonies. If you don't know, the waist beads are available on my website. If you get them online from me, then I do the prayer basically and mail it to you along with your waist beads. And for people who I actually know or who are in the Houston area, I do anklets as well. They're not available on the website. It's kind of like an exclusive thing, but you can always DM me if you want blessed permanent anklets as well, or like matching to go with your waist beads too. You tie them pretty much the same, but you would have to purchase cement, or I would give you a link where you could purchase cement to close your anklet permanently. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm closing the end here. Let's get started on this testimony. So, the way that I got close with God, it's kind of an interesting story, which it usually is if you're getting close with God and, building a relationship with Him. My father's actually a mortician, so I grew up in funeral homes and I played in them. I played next to caskets. I saw my first body when I was about 4 years old. About 4 years old. It wasn't scary to me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't weird to me. It's kind of normal. Death is a normal thing. It's something that happens in your life. And when I was younger, it was something that I super wasn't afraid of. So if you could imagine kind of how Simba is in like the Lion King, that's kind of how I was when I was a child. I was very fearless and just kind of would just face whatever head on and just deal with it, and just wasn't afraid of anything. And I'm not afraid of anything now, but I am afraid of God a lot more than I was when I was younger. Obviously, I'm sure you could imagine how many times someone could bump their head before they just kind of stop being hard-headed or as hard-headed, because there are some things I'm still hard-headed about. But so I'll leave the chart too, so you guys can see what the different color meanings are and how you can get, the colors to go with your mood. And it helps trick your brain into thinking certain things, feeling certain ways about yourself and about your body. But long story short, or long story long, I guess. I don't know how long this is going to take because I've never done this before, but these anklets don't take too long to make, so I don't know if I'm going to finish the testimony before that or what. But, so I was on probation and I was hanging out with, we'll just say, the wrong crowd. And I was at my apartment I lived in before I moved to Los Angeles, out here in Houston. And I used to live like, I don't want to say where exactly, but I used to live like downtown. And the people I was around, they really didn't have like my best interest, which you should really have your own best interest, if anything. But I was young and I had just graduated from high school and been out for like about 2 years maybe or something like that. And I was a kid. So when I was out of school, my mom, she started kind of getting sick a little bit. And so she was in the hospital, and while I was on probation, I used to, when you're in that situation, you have to pay a lot of money. You have to pay, obviously, for your lawyer. You have to, continue to pay lawyer fees for whatever the situation was, and whatever the verdict is, you have to pay for that. Then you also have to pay for probation as well. And it's like, if you don't have a job, you go to get locked up. If you don't have a lot of different things, it's basically set up so you get locked up if you don't have these things. So I never, danced or anything like that, but I was around those type of people. And so my mom got really sick and she was in the hospital. And I remember it was like really late at night at my apartment, and we were kind of like, just relaxing, talking and stuff. Me and some people I would have called friends back then were at my house or whatever, at my apartment. And my Bible fell open by itself. I kept it on a nightstand that was next to my couch that was in my living room. And I had a roommate at the time. I think my roommate, I can't remember if my roommate was sitting at the table or was like asleep or what. It was really late at night. It's making me y'all just think about it. It's really late at night right now too. Cause yeah, I sell my music during the day, and at night I have shows and stuff and do my online stuff for my website. So I really appreciate when I get rest, but I'm a full-time musician now, thanks to God, and I'm doing stuff the right way and stuff. And so he blesses me, but I know that to whom much is given, much is required. So there's always something I can be doing to grow myself, and it's only my fault if I don't make enough, or if I don't do, get what I need in order to live. So, or, more than that, whatever my goals are. Back to what I'm talking about. So, my mom was in the hospital, and my Bible fell open on its own. Now, I'm a person that really loves blue lights, and I like to shine them late at night when I'm working sometimes. Blue is a color that stimulates learning, and now I like to incorporate it in my waist beads too. But when I was way younger, I used to have black lights in my apartment, which I need to get some too, because those are really cool. But it kind of it definitely stimulates the brain into more activity, and you can get a lot more work done just because you're constantly like thinking, but you have like a calmness about you and a peace about you. When blue is around, that's why, Lord, I just flick that everywhere. But that's why my whole apartment pretty much is like blue, white, cream. I need to be calm because my life is a lie, and I love cartoons and stuff. But anyway, so the Bible fell open on its own. I swear on my grandma's grave, I swear before God, that Bible fell open by itself. Nobody was over there or nothing. And it fell open to Numbers 33. And I didn't immediately go over there because I didn't know if everybody else saw it, and I felt like that supernatural instance happened between me and God only. So when I went over to the Bible, and this is kind of difficult for me to say just because YouTube is super judgmental with people, you know, just like when you tell people true stories, I don't lie. I don't have no reason to lie like that. Like, but people are very judgmental on YouTube. But I'm gonna just say it because it's the truth. So it was Numbers 33, and the blue light was only shining on a specific part of the Bible that I saw. So I read that small part to myself without saying it out loud. And I marked that page and I closed it. And it freaked me out, and I didn't touch it again until 2 weeks later. No, not 2 weeks later. It wasn't that long. It was like, I think it was the next day actually. Yeah, it was the next day. And then I had read that paragraph. And then after 4 days, I read that entire chapter, even though I didn't fully all the way know what I was reading. Now, I had that Bible on the nightstand. I'm someone who was raised in the church, but I wasn't someone who read the Bible on my own like that until that happened. And I was, you know, obviously a young adult at that point. So it's kind of, you know, some people have done that or have done more, but at that time, that was when I learned to walk with God a lot more. So I'm going to go to the actual verse because I don't want to say it wrong, but it was basically along the lines of God calling Moses to go into a land and demolish false images and false idols and things that are not of him, and to dwell in the land, and because he's given Moses the land to possess. And so I was with any money that I had, I would always try to move to Los Angeles with it. That was like my goal since I was a kid, was to move to Los Angeles. My mom, she had put me in the industry with me wanting to be in it as well at the age of 6. So I've been in the industry since I was 6 years old. I've been modeling and acting, and I was afraid to do music. When I first started being afraid, it was because my mom had me like sing in front of a big crowd of people, and it had like freaked me out. And I was just scratching my leg. I don't want y'all to be like, what the heck? But yeah, I was scratching the bottom of my leg. But she had me sing at this like corporate event at Astroworld in front of like thousands of people, and I was terrified, and I like cried into the microphone the whole time. It was a Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You. And I had like freaked out, so I cried in that mic, honey, and I was like, don't ever ask me to sing again, and don't ever ask me to sing again in front of nobody. But now I'm really glad she did it, because she saw that in me before I saw it in myself. Like, I used to sing around the house with her, and I don't know why she thought it was cool to do that. But yeah, that scared the mess out of me. So I didn't want to sing for a long time. I used to tell her, I want to just sing for my babies, because she wanted to put me in lessons and all these different things. And I was just like, no, I'm going to just act and model, and like, I'm just sing for my children. But lo and behold, I'm a whole musician first. I love music, but I love God way more than music. And it's more important to, you know, for him to be proud of you, obviously, so that he can say, well done, when you go to heaven. But in any event, my mama was in the hospital, and it seemed like even before the Bible had fell open, it seemed like she kept getting worse than getting better. And I would kind of like drink with my friends and stuff to, I guess, cope with everything. And like, I would go out at night and like party and stuff, because I was in college anyway. And I had my own place, so I had like freedom. And I was in like films and stuff, so I had like a little bit of financial freedom too, to do stuff like that. But yeah, man, that Bible fell open, and it was Numbers 33. I think it was like, I don't know, I gotta see the whole thing to know. King James Version. Is that King James? I think it is. It don't matter. I could tell what it is. I think it's like, I know what I can do. And God spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab. That's how it starts. And God spoke to Moses in the plains. I used to have it written on the wall when I lived in Los Angeles. Yep, on the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho. Yep, the Lord. So it's 33:50. And let's go down to the King James Version. 55. Yeah, so this is what the light was shining on. It said, and you know, think about it. It's like somebody's goal to go to Los Angeles. They're young. They're like easy to manipulate and take advantage of because they're naive and they just want to be like a star. They're a kid or whatever. They keep saving up money to move, and they about to go to Hollywood, right? And they this little Southern girl that was scared to sing in front of all these people, really didn't know what I was getting myself into, didn't know, you know, the full stuff about LA and everything, but been in the industry, you know what I'm saying, but never put in no compromising situation in the sense of where somebody would like, you know, where I could jeopardize my life or hurt anyone or anything. And, you know, I want to live, so that's neither here nor there, but I'm going to just read it to you guys. It says, I ended up reading the entire paragraph, but the light only shined on 55. And it said, basically 55, but it says, but if ye will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye let remain shall be pricks in your eyes. Oh, no, that's not it. It was 53, I think. And ye shall, speak unto the children of Israel. And the Lord spoke to Moses, so it was 50. My apologies, it was 50. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when ye are passed over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all their high places, and ye shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it. And ye shall so that was where the light stopped, right? Then the next day, I had spoke to the hospital again, and they were telling me that my mama was gonna have to stay in there another day. And that just kept happening, and this was going on for like a week and a half, I think. And she had just went in there for something minor, and she was supposed to come out. And so I was so confused why they kept saying she was having to stay an extra day. And it seemed like she wasn't feeling better. She wasn't getting better. I can't even remember. I guess it was kind of traumatic. I can't even really remember why she was in the hospital, but I remember it was like something with her body or whatever. And so it said, you shall destroy all their molten images and pluck down all their high places. You shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein, for I have given you the land to possess it. Then I read the rest of it after that next day, after the hospital said she was going to stay. And it says, and ye shall divide all the land by lot for an inheritance among your families. And to the more ye shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer ye shall give less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where this lot falleth. According to the tribes of your fathers ye shall inherit. But if ye will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes, thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein ye dwell. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. So that hit me in a different way, because I was willing to pretty much just sing whatever someone wrote for me and just, act in whatever film I was given, especially if it was like a motion picture or something. And I was willing to model pretty much anything as long as my tatas didn't show, where my dad would be angry, or where my, special areas wouldn't be shown, where my dad wouldn't be angry at me or whatever. But after reading that and, seeing LA in a different light and stuff, I'm very, 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 very grateful I decided to go in the pure direction and change my life around. And I was sobbing reading that, like, that next day, and I couldn't read any more of it. So I closed the Bible again, and I didn't open it back up for like 3 days. And each day the hospital kept calling, and they were saying, your mom is getting worse, your mom is getting worse, your mom has to stay. But nobody was really telling me fully what was going on. My parents are real, like, to themselves with that kind of stuff. So they'll tell me, like, what information I need to know. But they're very protective over, like, what information they give me and stuff. They ain't even, child. It's weird. Like, they'll let me see other people, go through it and tell me other people, like, if a family member or whatever. But when it's them two, they be like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. But they may not have even told me what was going on fully. But I just remember visiting her in the hospital almost every day too, or calling to see what was going on if I couldn't go. And yeah, man, it took like 3 days. And so I ended up reading that entire paragraph the 4th day, right? When I read that whole paragraph, bro, it basically told Moses what to eat, right? So I felt desperate at that time, and I wasn't the size I am now. I was more like, which is nothing wrong with being big or small or whatever, but I was a model and I was signed to a whole agency, and I was only booking like music videos, swimsuit, photo shoots, urban stuff. Like, that was it pretty much. I was like their token black girl. And I wanted to do more shows and have more gigs, because that's every artist's dream, to be full-time, especially if you're not. Even if you're in school. And like, I got a taste of it at a really young age, just being on Disney and stuff. So I wanted to like pursue that wholly like I am now, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know how to go about doing that. Child, when I tell you, that Bible told me what to eat, because when you read that chapter, you'll see God told Moses what to eat too. I ate fruits, vegetables, grains, and nuts. I ended up throwing away, that day, all the foods that like God told Moses not to eat. And I was like, I'm going to just copy Moses, because obviously this stuff is for me. Like, it's talking about my family, and like, that was my whole thing. Even when I wasn't living like perfectly, I've always been extremely family oriented, almost in an unhealthy way sometimes, just because like my family is big and we're like I don't know, we have that like Godfather type mentality. It's just like family first. You put your family before anything, you know? And so like I unhealthily like want to protect my family and like love on my family and keep my family safe and be there for my family even in times when it hurts me. Like I still feel like my family always comes first, and I don't even think it's unhealthy no more. Like it's just, you know, you take care of yourself, self-love, yeah, and you take care of your family too, because that's the extension of yourself, you know, especially the ones that are like that need you. But everybody gotta, you know, they got their own stuff, and it is what it is. But yeah, man, my mom, she started to get better really quickly after I changed my diet around. And then they said that she would get released because they kept saying, oh, she gonna get released next day, next day. But it was something she was supposed to have. I think it was like her blood levels or her sugar level, something she was supposed to have that was like supposed to be normal, and it got normal, and it was just like a small step in the right direction, or she may have walked or something. It was something. And then I was like, okay. So I ended up telling my mom kind of what happened with the Bible a little bit, and then I told her what I was eating. And she started eating the same things and kind of asking the hospital for it. Like, when her food came, she was like, don't bring meat, you know? And she started getting better, bro. I didn't know I was gonna... She started getting better. And she got out fast. She got out of the hospital really fast. Like, God is real. God is real, bro. I'm so glad I could finally share this. Because, you know, when you're worried about, like, a day job and stuff, you don't want them to know, you know, you were on probation. Even though I could take it off my record now at this point, I'm full-time, so I work for myself. But, like, God is real. And if you really trust in him, like, when I tell you I lost that weight so fast, like, I was thick. I was like Megan Thee Stallion size, and she has a beautiful shape. But I wanted to model, especially at that time. That wasn't like, now it's, you know, it's okay to do it, but I was kind of on the in between, so I couldn't be plus size, and then I wasn't like stick bony thin, and I still got big legs. Even now, I have like Barbie legs, but dude, like, I lost so much weight so fast, but it was like healthy weight, you know. I still kept my shape and stuff. And I switched to just eating meat. I mean, eating vegetables, fruits, vegetables, grains, and nuts. And back then it wasn't like processed. It wasn't like a lot of like, you know, you can pretend like the jackfruit is I don't know, like a sloppy Joe sandwich and just eat that. It was just like fruits and vegetables. That was it. So my mama got up out the hospital. I lost the weight. I went straight to my agency after I had lost like 35 pounds, 40 pounds, and showed them. And they didn't believe me on the phone. And then they saw me. It was at Neil Hamill modeling agency in Houston. I kept booking stuff after that. It was like every other day I had a model call, and I was booking them. I modeled for MAC Makeup. I modeled for Neiman Marcus. I modeled for Tootsie's. I modeled for Saks. I modeled for Macy's. I was doing photo shoots and just booking stuff left and right in Texas, in Houston, Texas. This is not New York. This is not Los Angeles. This is not none of those places. So for me to be able to book those gigs like that just showed me, like, I just had to trust in God, bro. And I had enough after that. Enough clean, legit, like, doing what I love, money. Ain't have to work no weird day job. Ain't have to, like, I got off probation, and I had enough to leave. And I had enough to pay my apartment off and even pay for my friend to go, because she didn't even have all of it at the time. Like, pay for me and my friend to go to Los Angeles to get an apartment. And God just, God is real. And whatever you feel like God is pushing you to do, whatever job or business you feel like you want to start or you feel like you want to do it, because in the long run, you'll be happier and you'll be more fulfilled, and you could really like just like you trusted him sometimes. If you do your tithes and offering and you know you don't have it, and then you see how that money comes back and some, and you don't even do it for that. Sometimes you give him your last, right? You're like, I remember them times when you had like $5 and you like, okay, I'm gonna give God 3. And then you get 5, or you get 100, or you get 500, or you get a bunch back, and it's not even from your job. It's just like random money that comes in or something, or a check you forgot about, or something that comes in the mail. Like, this same stuff can happen with a business you want to start if you quit your day job or whatever, bro. And I just want people to like have a little bit more faith, just like a mustard seed. If times are hard, if you have a family member that's sick, trust God, because I really wholly trusted in him. And I could have went down any path, either path. I could have went down a bad path and stayed there. I could have went down a good path. And I'm so forever grateful that I chose the good path, because, like, God forbid, but if I don't live, you know, I know that I did what I was supposed to do, and I want to live. I want to have kids and stuff and be married, but I did what I was supposed to do. I left behind some music. I left behind 2 albums. I left behind some beautiful pictures, and I don't have no, you know what, but I left behind some things that my family would be proud of. Like, I built a legacy for myself and for my family. There's a website there. They can just keep that up, you know. And yeah, I finished the anklet, one of them, but I think I'm done with this video for today. But I will let y'all see a little bit more later of the anklet and everything. But y'all be blessed, and hopefully my phone's still on. And I'll be praying for y'all. But next video, I'll probably be making some waist beads, and I'll just like pray with you guys and let me know what you think. And if you want me to do more of these, I'm trying to figure out something a little more consistent to do on my YouTube instead of just dropping music over and over, so you guys can get to know me a little bit more. But God bless y'all, man. Y'all have faith, man. Just a mustard seed. God can give you the desires of your heart, bro. My name is Desiree, so I'm living proof. Bye. She cute. Nails by Femi Beauty though. And she did my nails, so you know I'll be doing my friend waist beads. I broke this one though. This ain't her fault. I had them on a while. They her press-ons from her company she be sponsoring sometimes. But yeah, they're gonna be cute. They'll be matching, so they'll look like this. And these are clay, and the rest are glass beads. But yeah, thedesiree.com.